So to recap, last year we took it easy for 2 days to acclimate, and it worked well, I thought. So we did the same kind of structure again this year. We had 2 days for biking to acclimate. So no e-bikes, it's human powered, but it was all the way downhill on, was supposed to be for most of it. At least that was the plan. Okay, so change of plans this morning. We looked at the forecast. It's going to be raining from about 9 o'clock on. So we decided to go run over here to a place called Skyline Drive. It's a road that's cut into the side of a cliff. And we're just going to try to get in before the rain hits.
Oh. What did you say about altitude? Side of a cliff. That sounds like our kind of ride.
Skyline Drive turned out to be so fun, I thought.
Little drop off there.
It was a 200-foot elevation gain. Not bad at all.
Here's the trail.
We climbed up to that hogback, that ridge. And that road was a narrow one-lane road with 300 to 400-foot drops on both sides. And so that was kind of fun to experience that. And then we got to see those dinosaur footprints. That was unexpected.
And inverted. You think of a footprint being a depression.
Right.
Well, this was a depression, but it was upside down, so it was a protrusion.
Popping out at you.
Yeah.
So after we biked it, we decided to drive it. And we drove over to Canyon City. It was a neat little side ride. And then, well, the forecast changed. And we decided, oh, the rain is less likely.
Well, we went to Cripple Creek.
Yeah, hour and 20-minute drive up to Cripple Creek and then right on down. Well, we're in Cripple Creek, Colorado. Getting ready to go on the Shelf Road. It's sprinkling a little bit, not bad. But it's kind of cold. It's about 50-ish degrees.
I imagine Shelf Road coming down from Cripple Creek at 9,500 down to Canyon City, which was at 5,200. So what, 4,300 feet decline or loss of elevation, which was significant and funner than heck, especially since we had fat tires, disc brakes, and we could slide it off the back of those seats and set those honeys down when we got to going too fast.
Yeah. And it was pretty steep there in the beginning.
No, it was.
We had to stay on the brakes quite a bit. And the original plan to bike was 26 miles downhill from Cripple Creek to Canyon City. And I'm so glad we did decide to do that because it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
And
started out misty.
Yep. Rain
misty
for maybe
rain
10 minutes or 15 minutes, not bad.
And then it warmed up.
Yeah. Cleared off, blue sky. And it was a great day. Some places were extra thrilling. There were some drop-offs, about 300 foot again. On those ledges up above on Shelf Road were pretty dramatic. It was kind of neat traveling along that shelf. What it was a Shelf Road.
Where it got its name. I think I'd have called it Cliff Road, but hey.
It was a nice wide road most of the time, though. Compared to a mountain path, it wasn't this narrow, it was plenty wide. So I felt very comfortable on it.
I did too.
After about 13 miles, it turns into blacktop and leveled out. We made it back to Canyon City just in time to eat, shower, and catch our lift that we had scheduled for 6 p.m. to take us back up to Cripple Creek to get our car.
Yeah.
Well,
confirmed reservation.
Well, it was scheduled.
And then they tried to match us up with a driver.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Yeah. Well, this is where things didn't go exactly as planned. It was a little bit of a rustastrophe, as my friend Deanna would say. This is where we didn't know that when it said scheduled, it just meant, well, we're scheduling you to ask for a ride. And I imagine they would have taken it if they could have gotten paid for the ride out and the ride back. But there's no way we could do it. The way it was set up, we couldn't we couldn't make it a round trip ride. So we were sitting there thinking, what are we going to do? Our car is an hour and 20 minutes away. And we're in here with our bikes at our hotel room.
And we're not pedaling back up that hill.
No, you got that right. Yeah. So we started thinking, we can't rent a car because there's no rental places.
No rental.
We could have gotten a taxi. It was about $350.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch. But we were about to do that when you said, hey, what about Home Depot?
They just happened to have a van, one vehicle left.
That's right.
And we
got it. So we rented it that night, and they don't charge for overnight. They don't charge for extra miles. We put the gas in it. It turned out to be a great deal, like what, $70. All right, well, it's 5:30 in the morning, and we are in our rental van heading back up to the Cripple Creek to get our car. So here we are. We're on the adventure. Got the car. It was still there, not towed.
Yeah.
We were so happy.
Yeah. Well, that was the first leg of our 2-day cycling trip.
Yeah, the second leg was supposed to be Phantom Canyon Road, which was, we thought maybe would be even better than Shelf Road. At first we thought, well, maybe we just get a motorcycle or something to make it all the way up. It's like 35 miles of Phantom Canyon Road, and we knew the e-bikes wouldn't make it, and so we decided to get, well, the place was closed. So we decided, hey, that was your idea again.
Who wants to ride in a noisy motorcycle?
The beginning of our second day, we've driven up Phantom Canyon Road on the bottom half of it, and so we're about halfway up, and we're going to try to bike up a little bit, see how far we can go, and then go coast down.
Go back.
Yep.
Because this is up.
Yep. And it turned out pretty darn good.
It did.
It was a great day.
Great day.
Ran into a raspberry patch. Looks like we're getting quite a few here. We found a little camping spot over here. It's just really nice. We're gonna eat some lunch. Well, the temperature dropped by about 10 degrees and wind started picking up. We decided we're going to head back. We ended up going 5 miles up. It was about 1,000 foot gain.
Oh, okay. I
Total.
was curious. We worked our butts off. But, you know, we were having a good time.
Yeah. It was go as far as you feel like going. And then you just turn around and go downhill the rest of the way down back to the car.
With us right back.
Yeah. And it was really neat. Again, I counted up, there were about 300 foot drops on the side of that road too. Wow! Ha ha! And the ride down was really cool because the way I experienced it was I hardly got on the brakes at all because of the grade was just right to where your speed stayed up, but you weren't too fast that you had to hit the brakes.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
And those washboards blah, 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 just slow you right down.
They really do, don't they? Oh, what a ride.
What a ride. It was a good plan, Russell. Choose a spot.
Well, and then when we got to the car, you were nice enough to hop in the car, drive the rest of the way down the canyon, and I just flew down there, just going as
on your
fast
bicycle. We only put my bike on and I drove it.
Yeah.
I
got the pleasure of riding the rest of the way down and through those tunnels and everything. It was so neat. So that was pretty cool. All right, that is the biking section. And so the next day we packed up, ate breakfast, packed up and out, and we were all the way up from Canyon City up to near Vail, and at the trailhead by 11:30, you think?
Yeah, we unloaded and then loaded the bicycles into the car.
Yeah.
And
somehow we got those 2 mountain bikes in that car.
Yeah,
that was good.
Got them covered about 12:30.
Yeah, on the
packed
trail.
Up on the trail. Perfect.
Yep. All right.
There we are.
Gore Lake Trailhead. We were supposed to go about 4 miles that day, and it was gonna be from 8:7 to 10:2. So it was around 1,500 feet that we climbed.
It was a great hike, and right on the edge of what I could have done more, but I don't think I would have enjoyed doing more.
Same.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the day. It just left me tuckered out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, especially with the altitude that we were getting up there. We were at 10:2 by the end.
10:2 by the end.
Mm-hmm. And but the hike was very pleasant. We stopped and enjoyed a few spots.
Pulled our boots off and put our feet in the... Ice cold. I couldn't stand it. After just 30 seconds or so in that water, I had to pull my feet out. It was numbing cold.
And you were going to get in.
What I was thinking. From a distance.
Yeah. But we did make it to the place where we were hoping to, and it is beautiful. I was just seeing that sun up on that cliff up there, and really enjoying it. It's just so calm and pleasant right now. It smells good. The river's right down there. We can hear it. And we're going to try to get some dinner, get some sleep, and then head up to Gore Lake. Then we ended up looking at the stars for a little while and going out in that clearing.
Yes, we did. Yeah. That was really nice.
It was neat. The bazillion stars. It was so clear.
Okay. It may be that I can even stand to drink some cold water here pretty soon.
Yeah. Yep. First morning is pretty chilly usually.
That sun is sure welcome.
Blue skies, Dad.
Yeah, boy.
It was interesting. That's where we camped, and then we went on up on the second day of backpacking.
I like the way you put that, Russ.
Yeah.
Here again, when we first started out, that thing was, we were just up.
And the camera doesn't really capture the steepness of the trail. Well, just the stats, 1.7 miles total, and we gained 1,200 feet. So, and the middle part of that was fairly average, but the first part and the last part were pretty steep. It was like easier, but just shorter. We could take our time. Wow.
And look at the snow.
Oh, the snow up there? But Gore Lake was wow.
Oh, it's the definition of an alpine lake. Natural, large. For an alpine lake, it was a nice sized lake.
Yeah, it was very pretty, and it was one of those places I don't think I'll ever forget. It's just so dramatically beautiful.
And it was perfect because we spent 2 nights there.
Yeah.
So we had some time and ended up taking 2 day hikes out of there.
Yeah.
One just up to a vista.
Yeah, but it gave us a view of kind of the surrounding area beyond the lake. When you're down in the lake, it's kind of in a valley,
Yeah.
and you can't see around. But when we hiked up there, we could really see the surrounding area. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Having fun yet, Dad?
Yeah. We've been to the mountaintop today.
Yeah, man. It's been so great. Salmon. Hey, this is what we do for fun in the rain. We hold the tarp down.
We haven't actually gotten wet yet, but the wind has sure blown us around.
Sun came back out, and Dad's gonna settle down for a little nap. If he can keep the mosquitoes away. They're not too bad. You just have to blow them away once in a while, but they're not real aggressive.
But they ended up as goats, and little sharp horns.
Yeah. And muscly, those goats were.
Oh, the
muscle
musculature and their front shoulders. It made you realize how they could just go up a steep incline just like.
Or down.
Yeah.
They're just so muscly. So when they came around right through our camp, it was kind of with those horns and those muscles. And you're like, are you going to behave yourself?
Yeah.
But they were so cute.
But they just were happy to hang out. And every now and then one of the little ones would wake up that, well, mommy's not here, and start crying for mommy. Mommy, where are you?
And it was so cute.
It was.
Well, Dad's stirring around, getting ready to start the day. It's a beautiful morning, calm. Here's my bed. Here's where I slept. Saw 9 shooting stars last night. I only could stay awake to watch for about 15 minutes. And I couldn't believe how many I saw. Here's our eating area. Getting ready for breakfast. Gonna have a hot breakfast this morning. Biscuits and gravy. Okay. This is our last night in this camp spot. And it's been a good one. It rained last night for about 20 minutes. And then it cleared up and got to see the stars again.
It was a great spot, Russ. We just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The 4th day of backpacking, we packed up our big packs, walked out a little ways, ditched them in the trees,
Hung
them so the goats wouldn't chew our stuff, and went on up to Snow Lake.
And I felt secure because the satellites were guiding us. Because there was no real trail up there. You just kind of hiked through the marshes and around the edges of the cliffs and got ourselves up there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Dad.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You want a mountain stream? There's a mountain stream.
That is a mountain stream.
And there's a mountain.
Yep.
So we kept checking and we did all right.
Not as well as the young couple who just said, I don't know what they said, but they just went joop right up over the top, right over the ridge. Yeah. How they got over there, all those scree fields and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like
they just walked right over it.
Yep. We are up here, Dad.
Now, our original plan was to go on up over the
pass.
Snow Lake at about 12,000, and then that would have been 12,500.
Yep.
but that 500 foot was a scree field.
Not too bad on our side,
Not-
on the Snow Lake side.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it was
Steeper
supposed to be
and
boulders
rocky.
and yeah.
And we realized, I'm glad you made that judgment call, that the two of us with our backpacks, that would not have been fun.
Probably not have been fun, and it might have been about a mile, maybe a half mile's worth of scree and boulders, and a little more danger than I wanted to put us in.
Yeah. We explored going over those rocks right there at Gore Lake.
Yeah.
Probably the scree
Just to
field.
try them out.
Yeah, let's just see. Well, we couldn't use our poles. We had to use our hands to climb over rocks and things.
Yeah.
It
With
was
a 35-pound pack, that can be extra challenging. Okay, well, then we hiked out and
came back,
Yeah.
got our backpacks on, and got back down to the Grave campground
yeah,
in time for our last night.
yeah.
Yeah, we were just having fun at
Yeah.
that point. We were just messing around and
Yeah. Overall,
great
What-
trip. Great
what can
trip.
you say about it? I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
It was so fun to have spent that time together, and you know, everything we did together and enjoyed.
Yep.
The cycling, the figuring out how to get the car back,
Yeah.
getting up at 4 something in the morning to go get it and
Get the
get
car.
that van back before it went overtime. Isn't that cool?
That's cool. Oh my gosh.
Wish I were as sure-footed as those two.
Yeah, those little feet just went.
Yeah, right over.
Well, I don't know if you can hear me over the water, but this is we decided to stop for lunch. We're headed out. It's our last day, and this looked like a good spot to eat lunch. So, and we're hungry.
Well, this is what has been.
Yep.
Blue skies, Dad.
Yeah, boy. All kinds of things.
Snow Lake.
We've been to the mountaintop today.